Welcome to the podcast, Mela. What's up, sis?
What's up? What's up, y'all? I'm excited. I am excited.
I'm glad to have you on here today, girl. I've been waiting all week for this one.
Me too. I was just telling her, y'all, I felt like I was coming on Red Table Talk, the spiritual edition, the Christian woman version of it. So we about to rock this thing out.
So, how has your week been?
Everything been good. It has been a really nice week. Very productive, very, very productive. I feel like I tapped in this week for sure. Like you always say, tap in, tap in. I tapped in. I was like, I got stuff to do. No more playing.
Yeah,
I gotta make it rock. How yours been?
I love it. It's been good. I can say I've been productive too. I have the days where I kind of feel like I get more done, and then the next day I'm kind of slacking. But slow progress is better than no progress. So we just got to keep moving, girl.
Yeah, we busy. We got a lot to do. So, we got to find that balance so that we can get our work done, but, not grow restless and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. So for the people who are gonna listen and watch this, just tell them your name. You could tell them where you're from, and just share a little bit about your journey and how you came into coaching.
Absolutely. So, hey, y'all. My name is Mela Sherice. I am a certified life coach specializing in mindset transformation and spiritual renewal. So, I help people go back in the past and clear out that subconscious mind so that they can live the life that they love without the bondage and without the restrictions that has been planted in their mind, or even the unbelief that they have planted in their own mind, just through life and stuff like that. And then spiritually, I renew people back. I renew people's minds that way as well, and lead them back to Christ through His Word, through the truth. The church has taught us a lot of things that are not right, just keeping us in the box of religion. And so it has strayed a lot of people away from church and away from God and away from living their life in the way that they know they should. And so I bring people back through His Word, because a lot of the things that the church has taught, you can't find it in the Word. So if you can't find it in the Word, then what is that? So
Right.
just right. That is a little bit about myself. I got into life coaching last year when I hit a roadblock in my own life. And I've always been the person who people come to and ask for advice and different things like that and seek counsel. And so I hit a roadblock, and I said, what do I have to do to change this trajectory? Now, when I say I hit a roadblock, I don't mean that I was doing bad, but I knew I was called to do more. And I was doing hair. I was successful in doing hair. And I scrolled across this video one day, getting ready, just looking for something else. And I scrolled across another video. I went back to my save videos. Now, if y'all use YouTube a lot and you save videos, then if you like me, you have 1,000 different videos. So I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
find what I was looking for. However, I did click on another video, and it wasn't by coincidence and it wasn't by circumstance. I was introduced to Latoya Okia, and on her
Mm-hmm.
video, I went from her video and I said, I've been looking for a business coach. I had been looking for a business coach for a while, and I said, I believe she can coach me. She speaks my language. And when I went on her website, she was actually about to have a webinar. Y'all, when I registered for the webinar, there was literally 10 seconds left for me to register. Registered, and I said, oh, this is talking about coaching. This is not what I thought. I'm looking for a coach. And the Holy Spirit made me stay on there. So I'm riding in the car, and I'm like, I'm just going to listen to it. And before the end of the call, I was pulled over on the side of the road, taking notes and saying to myself, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So that is how I got into life coaching. And I'm excited that I did. I'm excited. It has been a great transition. I see how things in my life journey all kind of reverts back, even down to me, just being a hairstylist and connecting with different clients, different ages and stuff like that, and being able to get normalized, just talking to random people and getting comfortable. So the transition has been nice, and I'm excited. I'm excited.
Girl, listen. Everything you said is just like so divine. Like just about how you was led to Latoya Kia, and that's how we connected. So
Yeah.
we're gonna wait till after to share that part. We're gonna end it with that,
I'm gonna
share how that.
tell y'all. Yeah, we're gonna tell y'all how we met, because this is divine for sure. For sure.
Yeah, yeah. So you said your niche is spiritual and mindset, right? Or did you say spiritual and transformational?
Yeah, so spiritual renewal and mindset transformation. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So sis, on this episode, it had really just been in my spirit to kind of just for us to break down calling, chosen. You know, Jesus tells us many are called, but few are chosen. So like to be called, what does it mean to you to be called by God?
I feel like to be called, this is a good way that I broke it down when I was thinking about it. To be called, God calls everybody. When you say called, I think general. So
Yeah.
I think maybe like passion versus purpose. To be called, you may be called to a passion. Everybody has a passion. Everyone has something that they enjoy and something that they like doing. That's not to say that they were chosen for that. And so
Right.
when I think of called, I think of general. God calls everybody. And in Matthew 22, verse 14, that says, for many are called, and it says invited. And so I think back to the dinner that Jesus was hosting, and he sent invitations out to chosen specific people.
Yeah.
And it goes to speak to humanity because many did not show up. Then he said, call people to fill in the space. So when I think of call, I think of general. I think of maybe passion, and not specific. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The notes I have, like you said, a calling is an invitation. It's an invitation to live a life together with Christ. And like you say, we know that everyone has a call on their life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, God, He wants all of us to live a life together with Him, but not everybody is going to answer that call.
Right.
So I feel like, once you answer that call, you begin to walk in it. That's when we kind of get more into chosen.
Yeah.
So what do you think about being chosen? Like, what's your definition of chosen?
Okay. So
What does it mean for you to be chosen? Because we know we chosen one. So what does it mean for you to be chosen?
Is different. To be chosen is so specific. So one of the stories that I like to think about as far as being chosen is Lazarus. When he was raised from the dead, many people during that time were called, and God, when their time was over, their time was over. But Lazarus was chosen. He had a special calling over his life. He had a special and a specific assignment. And so when I think of being chosen, I think of having special favor and chosen for special tasks. So, God uniquely made his people for a purpose according to his plan. So although he wants everyone to come back, he wants everyone to be saved, realistically, that's not going to happen. Different people have other callings in this lifetime, and it's not to serve God. It's to come up against, to kind of reroute other people back. And then, they also have that different type of calling. So when I think of being chosen, I think of the ones in the world who operate in the spirit and in the truth. So I guess call, you can kind of say worldly, chosen, you can say more into the spiritual realm, able to tap in, able to connect higher.
Right. Yeah, I love that you say that, because once you really begin to tap in, that's when everything just kind of just unfold. You like, wait a minute, like it's just all really.
Yes, there was a whole nother level, and I didn't know.
Right. And that's the definition I had about chosen. Just to give up everything in this world, in this natural world, to live a disciple life. Yeah. So like you say, it's a special, everything about it is special. It's a special anointing, a special, just everything we carry, because we chose to answer the call, because not everybody's going to answer it. Right. So we chose to answer the call. We began to walk in it, and it's like, the more you walk in it, the more God, leads us. So we know we truly the chosen one, because it's like I say, how the call goes to everybody. It's almost as if God, he knows who's gonna answer it in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like
When he knows when too, because bring me
yeah,
a year ago, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have been as receptive as I am now when I have been crushed and I have been broken and I have realized, okay, there's something different about you. You got to operate in it. You know, you have to.
yeah.
And so it's almost like being pushed into it, even though we're not forced. Um, yeah, it's different.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
go ahead.
go ahead. I was going to say just operating in the spirit and the truth, like according to the Bible or the law, as I like to call it. It's not easy to do either. I think I kind of wanted to touch on the fact that it's not easy to accept the call and to really step into it without some type of fear on what's going to happen, because it's just something totally new, something that a lot of us haven't even seen before. A lot of us don't have an example of seeing somebody being transformed and seeing somebody called and answering their calling, being someone who was chosen and accepting that position. I know I've never had an example. So in that aspect, it's like, this is not easy, but I want to tell y'all it's doable. If you are chosen, it's doable.
Right. Yeah, I love that you say that because I never want people to just make it seem like, or us to just make it seem like it's easy. Of course, we want everybody to do it. We want to bring more people into the kingdom, but like you say, it truly is not an easy thing.
Right.
But it's like when we begin to tap in, it's like, wow, I'm really good at this. Like God anointed me in this area, like stuff we never knew that we were good at, gifts, talents. It's like, wow.
I'm glad you said that. That's really good. So one of the things I used to always say to myself was, I'm not creative. I'm not creative.
Mhm.
You are creative. You were made by the creator. And now as I'm operating in my purpose, as I have answered the call and accepted that I am a chosen one, I tap into my creativity like no other. And I'm like, you had all of this down on the inside of you, and all that time you said, you're not creative. I can't create. I can't make this. Oh, I admire people who can do this. And it's like, girl, that was down on the inside of you the whole time.
Girl. And that's the funny part because it's like we always, I guess, kind of doubted ourselves, or yeah, just doubted ourselves because it's like once you tap in, you're like, wow, like this is a whole nother side of me that I never even knew.
There's a you on the inside of you that you haven't met yet. And I
Right.
still believe that I haven't met my full potential, my full self, and you haven't met your full self. So the fact that we are here and we're doing this, it's like, he has more. Like, it's more to do.
Yes.
There's more
Yes.
to me. So it's really exciting. It's really exciting. Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to touch on it. I had shared a video. I can't remember when I put it out, but it was a while back. It was like four signs. I did four signs that God is calling you.
Mm-hmm.
So, so what's one of the signs that you knew that God was calling you? Like, what's something that kind of just started happening in your life to where you knew, okay, this is God's work. He calling me to hire.
I would say maybe all never really feeling like I fit in. Um,
Mm-hmm.
never really feeling like I fit into societal norms or like the people around me. As hard as I would try, as hard as my younger self would try to fit in, I always stood out. I
Yeah.
always stood out. In a room full of people, I would have people coming up to me and saying different things. And I'm like, thinking that it was weird, but people know. People know. People can sense when you're different, when there's something different about you. Not just your dress different, not just your makeup is different, different things like that. When something is different down on the inside of you and you stand out as a result, and sometimes people get picked on behind, not fitting in or possibly feeling like something is wrong with them. And fast forward to an adult, it's like, who really wants to fit in anyway?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I could always tell that I was I was different. And one day this girl, I was having a conversation with this girl, and she told me, "You are the black sheep of your family." This girl don't know me from Adam. We were just having a conversation. I think it was like a consultant type of thing. And I was reaching out to her, and she told me, "You are the black sheep of your family." Again, this was before I found out, and I was and it was just last year, actually. It was just last year, like the summertime. She told me I was a black sheep. I am one of 4 kids, and one of my older brother, he actually claims like being the black sheep, like I stand out, and he's just a little more light skinned than the rest of us, so you know how that. And so he always say I'm the black sheep, and he always say that he's the one who stand out. So when she told me that, I'm like thinking back to that, and now I see you are the black sheep because you hold the black book. Like there's more down on the inside of you. So yes,
yeah.
that's one of the key signs. If you never felt like you fit in, if you always felt like you stood out, no matter what type of room you were in, that's a sign.
And I love that you say that about fitting in. I think it was a video I did maybe about 3 weeks ago. 8 signs you are the chosen one. That was the first thing I said. You never fit in with the crowd. And the example I used was when I used to go out with my friends and stuff like that. I wear glasses, and I know I'm not the only woman. I know it's men who wear glasses, but it's like when I used to go out, I used to be the only one with glasses on. Like,
and you stood out.
Yeah.
Stood out. Simple as glasses, you stood out. But yeah.
And look, I say it's because everybody was trying to be cute. I was trying to be cute and pay attention, watch my surroundings.
That too. You like, I need these glasses on because I gotta see what's going on.
Yeah, and it's like, girl, I have my makeup done and still my friends be like, girl, take them glasses off. I'm like, girl, I need to see what's going on in here. Like,
so did you have contacts like that you used to wear sometimes?
Girl, I tried contacts once, but I couldn't. No, it didn't work out at all with contacts. I couldn't get with it.
Glasses. You were just meant to wear your glasses.
yes. And for me, one of the number one signs I knew it was God calling me was I began to be uncomfortable. I share that a lot. Even on my podcast, I talk about being uncomfortable a lot. And when I think about it, I was really thinking about it earlier, and Holy Spirit really brought this to my mind. I said, "Oh, this is an example right here." Mm-hmm. So think about you wearing a pair of jeans that's too small. Like the jeans too small.
I don't laugh.
Listen, the jeans too small, but you're still trying to wear them, right? You're still squeezing in them, you still wearing them, and you walking around uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And the more you wear them, the more you be uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And they uncomfortable because they too small. They don't fit no more. So that means it's time to go buy a new pair and go a size up and go to the next size. Meaning you're going up to the next size. So when you listen, so when you think about that, us as people, and we think about it just spiritually, it's like, okay, when we become uncomfortable, it's time for us to go up, to go to the next level. So when I was just thinking about it, I was like, wow, like literally something as simple as a pair of jeans being too small.
Yes, and that's a really good comparison. Oh my gosh, I could have sworn I charged my computer and the 5% thing just came on. Let me plug this up real quick because this is too good for this to cut off.
Go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
It's so good. Y'all excuse me. I'm so sorry. The chosen ones done linked up. The Trailblazers have linked up, and the devil is nervous. But guess what?
Girl, that's funny because I could have sworn I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and while you was talking, it started ringing. I'm like, wait, I could have sworn I put it on Do Not Disturb.
No, I could have. I'm like, okay, yeah, we back, y'all. We back. But yeah, that is a really, really good. That's a good analogy. Them small jeans, because we done all tried to fit into some jeans that was too small, some shoes that was too small, a shirt that was too small. And when you're uncomfortable, that is spiritual agitation. Spiritual agitation. It's time for you to change. It's time for something to happen. You going higher. So the things that you used to fit in, the things that you used to like, you could call it goodbye. You could call it. You might as well
it's gone. And that's how it was for me. Like, it was crazy because, girl, I used to love to go out. Like, not so much as a club type of thing, but a daiquiri shop. Like, I was a daiquiri shop type girl. So, but it's like even when I ain't want to do that no more, I'm like, wait, something going on. Like, I used to love to go. Some, I don't like it no more. I don't care about that no more. I ain't feeling it. Something ain't right.
Listen, your taste buds will change, and not even just about the things that you eat or the things that you drink and stuff like that. Your taste buds for your environments will change. All of it will change, and you'll just be so uncomfortable, especially when you're doing things that you know that you like to do, and the things that you know that you enjoy, and you don't enjoy them no more. And it's like, okay, this is different. And I think that's good that you say that, because it makes me think of when I started changing like that, it was right before my period of isolation.
Yes.
For isolation. Things just didn't fit. Things were uncomfortable. It was so many different changes being made, and I didn't even understand why, And so, yes.
Literally, how you said that is how everything happened with me. I think when I listed the 4 signs, guys calling, that's how I said it. I said, I became uncomfortable, and then I said, how just everything just started to change, and then that's when the isolation came. So, for anybody who's watching, who's gonna listen to this, and they know God is calling them to higher, they know, God is calling them to something. What's the best advice you would give to them, even though it is uncomfortable, even though, see, I feel like a lot of people, they want to answer the call, but now I don't feel like a lot of people can go through their isolation period. So what's the best advice you would give to somebody to just be able to kind of, handle all that?
I would say, definitely seek God and know that it is Him calling you higher. It is Him separating you, so that He can work on the inside of you. Let's be honest. How much work can you get done? How much can you see yourself in the things that you need to change when you are constantly talking to people? You are constantly around people. It's hard to kind of hone in and focus on yourself. Even things like what you do and don't like. When you're constantly around people, you naturally take to the things that they like. You naturally take to the things that they don't like, because in this season of isolation, in that period of isolation, a lot of the things that I didn't think I liked, I love. Something simple like going outside in nature. I love being outside in nature now. That's where I feel the most connected. So I'll just say stick with it and know that you are going through it for a reason, and everything that is changing is necessary for you to go higher. So if you really desire to live a life that you love, it is necessary. And great things are birthed out of that isolation season. You learn so much about yourself. You really begin to tap into yourself and figure out who you are, what you like, what you don't like, what you want to do with yourself, what you don't want to do. And so it can be hard when you're used to being around people and you're used to being on the phone all the time, and you're thinking about how people are looking at you when people are saying you acting funny because you don't want to come out and different things like that. I would just say stay strong and pray for God to send you the people that He would like to have you around. The people who are going through the same thing. So for me, I ended up getting into a mentorship, and it made it easier in that season of isolation. Yes, I was isolated, but I was also in this mentorship where I was able to connect with people who understood, and women who were going through the same thing or had been through the same thing. It made it easier to it made it easier. Now, I will say that wasn't in the beginning. So there was some isolation. I was strictly by myself. I mean, all my devices were messing up, y'all, my phone, everything. People would be like, I've been trying to call you, and I'd be like, what's wrong with my phone? Okay, God clearly don't want me on the phone. He clearly don't want me to nobody. Like, it was like that. It was like that, but it was worth it. So I will tell you, yes, it's uncomfortable because you have to look at yourself and do the work, do the work, but it's so necessary. It's so necessary and it's so worth it. I feel literally better than I've ever felt before in my whole entire life. I feel just so peaceful as I go on about my day. I feel literally joy, unspeakable joy that we hear about in the Bible and people like to talk about and then take out. I literally feel that all the time. So it's worth it. It's worth it. And connect with people. Connect with people who, well, no, pray for God to send you divine connections. And as they come, acknowledge them, connect with them, take hold of them, and appreciate your process because it's necessary. And it's not for you. It's for you to go back and tell the next person what your period of isolation was and encourage them that they can do it too.
Yeah. I love how you broke that down. Like, if they don't understand, they can listen to this a few times and they gonna get it. I love how you just broke that down. And just, since you ended it with about divine connections and stuff, just kind of share with them how we connected, because you talked about it, how you came into coaching and everything, but just share how we connected, because we know that's divine. So just tell them about that.
So I'm just going to go back and give a little bit of that backstory again on how I got into coaching, because how I got into coaching is how we connected. So I got into coaching. I was looking for a business coach. I was, and not actively at the time, I was looking for a business coach. But I was just scrolling on YouTube for a video in my saved for later. I couldn't find the video that I was looking for. I clicked on another video and I connected with Latoya Okia. When I heard her speaking and I heard her ministering to me, I said, oh God, I've been praying for a business coach, a business mentor. She speaks my language. I went on her website. She had a webinar. It was talking about coaching 101, coaching 101. And I was like, oh, I need to get on this, because again, I was looking for a business coach. When I got up there, probably about 10 minutes into the call, I said, this ain't what I was looking for. But I stayed on the call, y'all. The Holy Spirit had me stay on that call. I got ready, got in my car. I was leaving to do everything I needed to do. And I pulled over on the side of the road because I realized that I was called to coaching. I was called to ministering and connecting with God's people. So in the mentorship that she has in her coaching course, she has monthly meetups, monthly Zoom meetups where you can meet up with her and you can ask your questions, because she likes to check on her coaches and make sure, hey, if we have any questions, they're being answered. And sometimes you might not even get a chance to answer or ask your question, but there's so many other great questions that come. You just get filled and you're like, oh my gosh. So we actually connected on one of those Zoom calls. I don't even know what was said, but I don't even know who sent the message like, hey, we had to connect or something like that. Oh, we connected on Instagram. We connected on Instagram. Just everybody was dropping their stuff in the chat. That's what it was. But you can't connect with everybody. So I remember at the end of the call, I said, hey, I wanted to connect with people and different things like that. We connected on Instagram. We just started following each other. And then we started supporting each other. And then we started, communicating and different things like that. And so here we are.
Yeah. It is truly divine, girl. And like I say, something like that may be new for somebody, connecting with new people, because for the longest I was the type to really just feel like, oh, no new friends, because you be friends with the same people for so long, it's like no new friends. And I feel like
trash. We gotta throw no new friends in the trash, because that's literally a mindset thing, and we into mindset, and that will keep you down.
Yeah. And I think I shared it on one of my podcast episodes. Like, even saying stuff like that, no new friends, it's like we kind of, we blocking God. Like, if you want to send new people, new friends, it's like we no new friends. And it's like, okay, He like, well, okay.
You need new friends for where I'm taking you. You need new people. You're not going where you going with the people that's in your life, because the people that's in your life, you don't even know, boo, but next season about to be up. They're
Yeah.
about to be up.
So what does purpose mean to you?
Mm.
So to begin to walk in your purpose, like what does that mean to you?
First and foremost, I would say that walking into your purpose, to me, is first connecting with God, because before you begin to walk into your purpose, God has to work on you. God has to show you who you are. God has to show you what you can do and who you are in Him. So, which means you have to connect to your Creator. You have to really come into relationship with Him, and I mean intimate relationship, so that He can reveal to you first who you are. So that when He shows you what He wants you to do, now you believe in yourself. Now you can see it. Now when those visions come, you're in a different space and you see yourself different, so you can receive on a different level. So you can't just, for all the people who think you can just figure out what your purpose is and then walk into it, it doesn't work like that. You got to get connected. You got to figure out who you are first. So purpose to me is connecting with our Creator, and allowing Him to lead us to what our purpose is. Because even after you figure out what your purpose is, like, hey, I'm a coach, you're so much more than a coach. Are you also a motivational speaker? Are you also a minister of some sort? So it's nothing that you learn and is done. It's something that you learn and you keep learning what your purpose is. You keep learning what you're supposed to do. But again, you have to connect with your Creator first. So purpose is connecting with your Creator, coming into a relationship with Him, allowing Him to order your steps to fulfill His plan for you, which we call purpose.
Yeah. I love that you say that. And it's like I tell myself all the time, it's like I don't have a choice but because like let's say if somebody, is coming into it in some kind of way, they get disconnected from God, and then everything just kind of go left. I feel like, and I talk to God like that. It's like, Lord, I can't even afford to get disconnected. I can't even afford not to have that relationship. That's the first and foremost, because it's like I can't even walk in my purpose and do nothing I'm doing without you, because you called me to it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I can't do something. What'd you say?
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Okay. I'm like, you just can't, you can't, I can't even continue on this journey without God, because God called me to it. Like, I think I shared a quote where I say, I'm not living out my dreams. I'm living out God's plan and purpose, because I can say everything I'm doing this nowhere near the dreams that I had. Like, this
Right.
is a whole nother plan.
Didn't even see it coming, because
Didn't even see it
literally,
coming.
I'm pretty sure you can agree with me. A year ago, nobody could have told me that I would be doing what I'm doing now. And if you did, I would call you crazy. I would probably laugh at you and say, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And you doing it is just, you can't do it without Him. He called you to it, so He has to strategically give you and feed you piece by piece by piece. That's what it says when it says the steps of a good man are ordered. When you're in purpose, you can't operate in your flesh. Your flesh doesn't know the next step, can't even
Yeah.
guess the next step.
Yeah.
So you have to stay connected. I love that you said you can't afford to get disconnected, because I feel the same way. I can't afford to get disconnected because I didn't get me here.
Yeah.
I didn't reveal this path to myself. So the one who revealed it to me has to continually lead me. So that's so good. That's good.
Yeah. I love that you say that. And so let's talk a little bit about mindset. I know you mentioned it at the beginning of the call. And it's like when I began to come into how the mindset really works, I'm like, wow. Like if it's things that we knew now that we knew things would have been a lot different a lot sooner.
Yes, yes, mindset. Everything I feel like begins and ends with mindset.
Yeah.
And so one of my favorite slogans, I put it on the end of every single one of my posts. Change your mindset, change your life.
Yeah.
And when we think of mindset, your mind is programmed. Your mind is programmed. So think of television programming, the TV. That's a form of programming. But everything that we see, everything that we do, everything that we say, everything that we hear is goes into our mindset. Our mind leads our body. So the condition that your mind is in is going to be the condition of your life. And so that's what you see when, if you look at your reality, it's an effect of your mind. So if you want to change your life, you want to change your reality, you got to go back to your mind and figure out what in your mind needs to be changed, what in your mind needs to be reprogrammed and transformed so that you can get the junk out and welcome some new stuff in to begin to live your life unapologetically.
Yeah, yeah. And see, that's the thing. Like the enemy, he don't want people to know that. He don't want people to know that he want to keep people chained in their mind. You see what I'm saying? And it's like he know once people break free, it's like it's over for him. I mean, he already it's already over for him, but it's like he just know that. So I feel like that's why even as far as somebody not believing in themselves how they should, that's a mindset. You see what I'm saying? Like it takes to just tap in, to dig deeper within yourself, and then you like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah, yeah. But in order to do that, you have to go back and figure out what is hindering you. What is your mental block? What is blocking you from believing in yourself? Because there's a reason why you don't believe it in yourself. And in studying the mindset, the subconscious mind, the conscious mind, your subconscious mind, a lot of your thoughts, I would say 95 of your thoughts and beliefs were formed by the age of 8 or formed by the age of 7. At the age of 8, you begin to think on your own and actually welcome your own things in. But up until the age of 8, that's a long time. Everything that is spoken over you, everything that is said to you literally takes root. So when I say you have to go back and dig out the junk and figure out what that block is, it takes some work. It takes some work because you have to look back and see, okay, let me go back to my childhood. And everybody didn't have what they would consider a great childhood. So it's nothing that you would really want to go back to, but you have to. It's necessary. If you truly want to change your mindset and live a life that you love, live a life that you enjoy, and live a life unapologetically.
Unapologetically.
Unapologetic. What does unapologetically mean to you? I love when I see that because unapologetically I feel like means different things to different people, but because that is kind of like a part of your brand, I just want to know, what does unapologetically, I know you like, I'm asking the questions here.
For me, like when God really began to move in my life and I started changing for the better, it's like, okay, the changes I was making and how I was beginning to go from a person who didn't have a lot of boundaries with people to setting boundaries and just beginning to walk in who God is calling me to be. I'm like unapologetically, like I'm not apologizing for bettering myself and the changes I'm making and how my life is moving, in another direction from how it used to be. So that's just me. Unapologetically to me, it means everything. Like me just bringing my full self to the table and just not apologizing for it. Like, this is who I am now. This is what I'm doing now. This is what I enjoy now. So it's like, okay, I'm unapologetically me. So that's really what it means. Like that's what it means to me.
For being who you are and doing what you do. I love that. I love that because a lot of times you see unapologetically and it's like, but what does it mean to you? We know culture's way. So I love that. That was a great explanation.
Yeah. Thank you so much, girl. And that was a good question.
I saw your wheels turning. I'm like, uh-oh, she like, I'm asking the questions here.
So, girl, thank you for so much for just coming on here. This has truly been this episode. This gonna be, this is good. This is gonna be real good. This is gonna be very helpful for a lot of people. If we could just help one person, that's good enough. So
yes. If one person gets free from this, this divine meetup, if one person gets free, we did what we were supposed to do. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. So is there anything you want to mention? Any more, any questions you may have for me? Anything you want to share?
Let me think. We're talking about chosen and called. Look, let me I guess I did have something down for some other points. So let me just say 2 more points or signs that will help someone that is watching this know that you may be chosen, not just called, but you may be chosen for hire to do something specific. One of the things I would say is having an old soul. A lot of times people say you have an old soul, but to have an old soul is to have had many lives. So you may be back in this lifetime. You may be here as an old soul because you have lived before. A lot of people say to kids, oh, they have an old soul. They've been here before.
Yeah.
That can very much be the truth. And so if you have an old soul, and that may be one of the reasons why you never fit in, because you didn't fit into your generation. And now you can link, okay, I didn't fit in. Yes, I do have an old soul. And I would also say highly intuitive. If you are highly intuitive, your intuition is second nature to you and you heavily depend on it for guidance. You could be about to do something and you know that when your stomach starts to turn, that is a direct relation to what you were about to do or what you were about to say or whatever like that. If you are highly intuitive and being able to connect in the spirit realm, you're probably called. It is probably time.
Look, many are called, but few are chosen.
Yes.
So before we get off here, just take a minute just to share all your social media, your website. I gotta go check out your website actually.
Absolutely. Y'all, when I said I wasn't creative, and then I create a whole website that I absolutely love and I have a blog on there. Listen, when God calls you and then he chooses you out among people, listen, it's so good. So my social media platforms are I am Mela, Mela, Sherice, Sherice. So my name is Jamila. I go by Mela Sherice. And that is the same on all social media platforms. At I am Mela Sherice. And then my website is Soul Cultivation. Soul is spelled SOL. So when that name was created, it was kind of like blossoming from the sun, being a seed that you thought was buried, and instead you were planted, and it took the sun to cultivate and grow you. So that is where Soul Cultivation came from. So my website, soulcultivation.com. Soul is spelled SOL. And also subscribe to my weekly newsletter. Connect with me. I have some great things that are coming. And then also check out my blog and my podcast. It is also Soul Cultivation, spelled the same way. It is now streamed on Anchor, Spotify, and Apple. So you have choices.
I love it. Well, again, girl, thank you so much for coming on here. I really enjoyed this. We're going to have to do this again soon. And
this is good.
Make sure you send me all your information. So whenever I post a video, whenever I post the episode and everything, I'm going to make sure I tag all your information in there so they can know how to reach you.
Absolutely. Yes. Y'all feel free to reach out if you have any questions, if you just want to connect, or if you just want to follow and support each other. If, like we talked about, you are in that season of isolation and you feel like nobody understands you, you feel like nobody gets you, connect with us, reach out to us. This is what we do.
Yeah.
This is what we do. This is not just our passion. This is our purpose. And our
Yeah.
purpose is helping people, bringing people closer to Christ, bringing people through the situations and the things mentally that they don't think they can get through. And so you don't have to go at it alone. So thank you so much for having me. This was good. We're going to have to definitely do this again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was excited, y'all. I'm going to say it again. This is spiritual red table talk. And that
Yeah.
might be a gem that was dropped on. That might be something. That might
Yeah.
be.
We're gonna have to keep this going, so we're gonna have to keep this going.
Yes. Thank y'all so much for joining. I hope this helped somebody. Definitely, I
Yeah.
hope more than multiple people. But if it at least helped one person, then we did what we're supposed to do. So this was
Job well done. If it's just one person, job well done.
thank y'all
But
so
again, girl, thank you so much for coming on here, and make sure you just send me your information, and we gonna get it posted. We're gonna get it posted Monday.
much. Okay, all right. I'll be
All
looking
right.
forward to it. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this because again, this was good.
All right, girl. Thanks so much.
You have a good one. Talk to you later.
All right, sis. Bye.